The lawsuit filed by Donald Trump against the BBC, centered on a fall 2024 documentary, throws a spotlight on the increasingly fraught relationship between political figures and media outlets, particularly in the current polarized environment. This case is less about the explicit content of the documentary itself, although that is central, and more about the broader implications for media accountability, the definition of defamation in the context of political figures, and the overall impact on public discourse during a critical election period. The BBC, a globally respected news organization, finds itself in the crosshairs, facing accusations of deliberate attempts at election interference. The heart of Trump's claim rests on the assertion that the BBC documentary included demonstrably false and damaging allegations intended to undermine his presidential campaign. While the BBC has issued an apology, the nature and extent of that apology are crucial. Did the BBC acknowledge factual inaccuracies, or was the apology more of a general statement of regret for any perceived offense? This distinction is essential in determining the strength of Trump's legal standing. A deeper look requires understanding the specific content of the documentary and the nature of the brazen attempt alleged by Trump. While the news report mentions porn, the context is vital. Was the implication that Trump was directly involved in the production or distribution of such material, or was it a more indirect association? The burden of proof lies with Trump's legal team to demonstrate a clear and convincing connection between the documentary's content, his reputation, and a tangible impact on his electoral prospects. This is often a high bar to clear, especially for public figures. The mention of BritBox, the streaming service co-owned by the BBC and ITV, adds another layer of complexity. The documentary was likely distributed through this platform, raising questions about the BBC's editorial control and oversight. Did the BBC have sufficient safeguards in place to ensure the accuracy and fairness of the content before it was broadcast? This connects directly to the concept of journalistic integrity and responsible reporting, principles that the BBC traditionally holds in high regard. The lawsuit's context is equally critical. We are in the midst of a highly charged political climate where accusations of fake news and media bias are commonplace. Trump himself has frequently attacked news organizations he perceives as critical of him, and this lawsuit can be seen as part of a broader pattern of challenging media narratives. It can also serve as a strategic move to rally his base and frame himself as a victim of a biased media establishment. Furthermore, the case taps into a wider debate surrounding the standards of proof required in defamation cases involving public figures. In the United States, the Supreme Court's ruling in New York Times v. Sullivan established a